I'm a reviewer, so let the reviews be joined. Hello everyone, your friend Autobot here once again, and I'm back. I'm back to doing my reviews, and this is my first review with my new camera and my new setup, so I hope you enjoy, and let's get to it. As you can see, we're going to look at Transformers Combiner Wars Deluxe Class Air Raid. This is one of the figures from the Wave 2 line. As you know, he's the last, well, next to last one of the aerial bots we were going to get. As you can see here, this is everything he came with. You got Air Raid himself, of course. You have his double barrel gun here, which I had here just to help show it off a little bit better, which we'll set aside. He also has his weapon, aka foot, aka hand attachment. Also very nice, but again, it's just like all the other ones from the rest of the deluxe classes for all the Combiner Wars. We'll set that aside too, and we'll move Air Raid out of the way for just a moment, and we'll slide this in to focus where we have his instruction sheet, which again, as I've said in my other videos, I really like the way they've done these. Very well done, more excuse me, more detailed into how to transform it and everything. Better artwork in all shapes and form of this. It's a great way to show it off and to basically show how to transform it a lot better than what they have been doing. Now, let's go into the next part, which is his comic book, which this is what took the place of the little collector's card from that the Wave 1 had that these guys did not have. And it's basically all the comic books are reprints with an exclusive cover from Hasbro of another comic from the IDW line. This one being the Robots in Disguise. Oh, excuse me there. Issue number 15. I like the art here on the cover. I'm not sure who does the art on this or the other, but if you go to the back of it, you also have his basically tech specs, or what you want to call it on here. It's actually more of a report from Rung, the Autobot PsyOp specialist. It's actually pretty good. It's a good little telling. If you don't know who Rung is, he's basically the psychiatrist that's in the IDW comics now. Pretty cool. He's a nice character. I do believe we actually have a figure of him. I'm not sure, but I think a third party has done that. I'm not sure fully on the exact details on him. But it basically reads, well, I'll read it out here. Air Raid has heard about Fear, but never met him personally. Courageous and borderline reckless warrior, Air Raid likes nothing better than barreling into a squadron of Decepticons at full speed with weapons blazing and spirits soaring. His fearless fighting style occasionally gets him into trouble, but he's saved his teammates far more often with instant acts of tremendous valor. His double-barrel torque rifle causes sudden disorientation and instant loss of balance to his enemies. A tremendous weapon, especially in airborne combat, with fellow aerial bots forms Superion. Conclusion: he's cleared for mission. History: extract from compulsory biographical download. Air Raid is the youngest of the aerial bots, but his daredevil decisions aren't born from inexperience or bravado. He simply cannot stop himself from diving in head first. Having a jet mode is the best possible option, as nothing else would enable his combat impulses so perfectly. Forms either an arm or a leg of Superion, the combined form of the aerial bots. As I said again, this is a reprint of issue 15 from the Robots in Disguise line, in which it does show Superion in this, but it doesn't really show Air Raid himself. The best image I found is, or closest image I found to showing him, but it doesn't really fully show him. It's this big double page or single page image here on the left side here. I'm going to try to get in there as best I can. There you see Superion, and basically in his G1 form, this would be Air Raid right here, his left leg. And that's basically what Air Raid was in the original G1 comics. He was the left leg of Superion. But enough on the comic. I won't go into full detail on the book. I do highly recommend, though, you go back and get the IDW Robots in Disguise series. Very, very good series. The same with the counterpart, More Than Meets the Eye. But a lot of the IDW books have been really, really good as of late. Well, no, I shouldn't say as of late, for the past few years. But let's get into Air Raid here. First, his jet mode is very nice. It's a sleek, basically an F-14 Tomcat, about the best way I can describe it. It's very transformery, as you can say. Like his other, he transformed pretty much similar to the other aerial bots of the line of the deluxe size, aside from, of course, Alpha Bravo in his transformation, and same with on the bottom, where you got plane on top, and on the bottom you got nothing but pretty much robot, where you can tell the robot at least. As before on my other videos I've said, I would love to see a third-party company come out with something that could help with this. Just a little, I won't say how thick it has to be. I would love to see something that they could put, like, maybe it starts like right back here. Even, you don't even have to go over these red bits here on his tail, on his legs here. They could work something in where they could put the like rear landing wheels right there. And just put something over all this to make it look more like the bottom of a plane, and maybe even have something up here where you have the front landing gear. Just an idea, but it more likely won't happen. But there you go. For his jet mode, you can do a couple of things with his weaponry, which we'll bring into focus here. You can with his wings as well. You can bring them out to like this into a flight, just straight out wings, like a Tomcat would do. But when you do this, you can actually see, like, if you look to the top, you can see his arms pieces there, which is not that big of a deal. Most will more likely keep him in that form. But as you saw previously, you can take his double-barreled rifle here, and you can peg it in right there. It doesn't look too bad. I mean, it really don't. It is kind of neat, having it like that, if you want to have it in that form. You can also, has the ports here underneath the wings where you can peg it in there. You can also likewise stick his other weapon, foot, hand, whichever you want to call this, there too, that it kind of sticks out a little bit more. You can have it like that, and like with the double-barreled rifle, you can actually peg it in up here as well if you would like to. Though it does seem to work a little bit better, though this does kind of throw it off. But, and you see it really sticks in good, so. And you can also, this can, fit on either side. Actually, if you manage to go ahead and get you a second one of these, and you can peg it in there on, have one on each side, it probably won't look so bad either. But let's get into transformation. One transformation for him is of course, going to be his leg mode, which, as I said before, in his G1 form, that was what he became in the, to form Superion. He was the left leg. To do this, all you really need to do is you flip this panel back, or the wings back right there at this point. You flip these back as well. You should flip these back first. You fit the little tail fins back. You flip this back, the main wings. You can, if you would want to, flip these up to that way, if you would like. I mean, it doesn't really matter either way. You see, it's kind of looks a little bit better this way, but it's your own preference. I'll show you in the instruction sheet here. We'll just flip it open. Let me find the right page. Actually, that's actually the preferred way for the for the initial instructions for it. So for now, we'll just leave it that way. I kind of like it the other way, but this way still works. But for the moment, I got to move these out of the way because you need to flip this piece here, and you fold it down just like the others, and you'll see two little peg holes. I don't know, right there, on each side, which these little pegs here will peg into. Now those will come into point later as well when you transform them into robot form as well. Now, next step is you want to pull these bits here, basically his knees, out just a hair, because you'll want to. You can also, mostly you want this for the clearance, but you could turn this part around his head and you rotate it inwards. I mostly do this to kind of keep his head hidden when he's flipping around, and you got it back in there. You then just slide this back in, and that's basically it. All you do is take his piece, the peg here, and you peg it into the bottom port here at the bottom, and that's it. That's his leg mode. A lot of G1ers would prefer it this way, which you can do because this was basically how you could do it in the G1, or had it in the G1 series, which you can do, and you can still do it, but you will, as you see, you do lose the knee articulation for the regular mode. I kind of like it this way because of that, the knee joint there. But again, this is basically, well, not that way, but this way is basically how it's supposed to be with the fins up. That's basically what your instructions show you. But you can do it either way you prefer. Next step, we're going to transform him into, let's go ahead and do his, let's make sure we go ahead and do this in his robot, or his arm mode, since we already got this situated. And I'll show you again by the pamphlet how the arm mode is supposed to be. Let's see, there we go. Make sure I had it folded open right. Now for the arm mode, as you can see, we're going to do a little bit of, not much to it, but it's better to, you can transform into robot form to do it, but we'll just do it from here. Step one, we'll unpeg this out, set that aside, take his arms up like so, do the same on this side, flip it up, and you basically fold them around to this position, like so. Next step, you want to work with this, because basically the way these pegs in back here, as you can see right in there, you'll pull these out and you can see they're pegged in right. I'm not sure well we'll pull these out a little bit to get a little bit better light in there. They peg in right in this general area, so you have it. That's one thing I have to admit I really like about how this guy, all these area bots work. There is they have great pegs that help keep them hooked up. We'll pull these joints out, basically like you're straightening them out for his robot form. We close these back up, which they peg in just perfectly, which I'm not doing right because I got the knees in there just right. I don't think. There we go. Now you can, for him, he can be either an arm, either side of the arm, right or left. We'll just go with basically the left arm since it's here. I'm going to just flip my book open because I want to make sure I'm doing this by the instructions. I'm trying to make sure I'm actually double checking to make sure I got the arms right, which I don't. And I see that now because these are supposed to go back and they're supposed to come down and peg in. I forgot about them pegging in. I thought I was doing it wrong. But they peg in right back there onto these. As you can see there's a little peg right here with a little bit here basically in the wrist. His wrist basically flips back and folds into, or pegs into, not folds into, like so. Again, as you saw, I flipped the connector joint port thing out, and unlike well, it's weird because you can have it this way, or you can turn it with the waist, his waist here, to have it this way, where you can have the elbow bend here, which I kind of prefer it this way, just to have where you can have the elbow bend and everything. We'll set this down for a moment, and we'll bring his hand back up. And to make the hand, of course, you flip this piece out, twist this around, peg that down, and there's his hand. You can bring this up, for his, basically making it into his hand, and you just peg it into the hole there. And that's it. Very simple for his, arm transformation, which he looks pretty good in the arm. Though these do, I like how these peg in. This kind of look a little oddball, but again, I prefer, with mine, I keep mine in his leg mode. But, that's, again, you can twin it around like so, and just basically switch it around for this way, or you can have it for to be the other arm if you want it to be. And that's basically it for his arm mode, which this is not too bad at all, not too shabby. Let's do this into his robot form. From this mode, it's not going to take much. We just pull this out. We'll set that away. We'll straighten his legs back around. Pull them apart. And there's his legs already. We pull the arms, unpeg them from the sides. And what a surprise, we got his arms back. That didn't take much. And we flip this panel, the connector port down, and there he is. Robot mode. Very, very nice. One thing I have to admit I like about the Combiner Wars, they're a great upgrade from the original G1. They have great articulation. You have like up here at the head, he can turn 360. He's got full swivel here in the shoulder. Not to mention, he's got this little bit here if you want to do something with that. He's got a little swivel right there, right below the shoulder, where you can swivel that all the way around. He's also got the elbow joint. No wrist articulation or hand movement at all. Waist, he's got this point right here, of course, for his forms where you can swivel it all the way around. He's got the hip, got a ball joint right there on the hip where you can swivel it all the way around, swing it out like that for a high kick. He's got the articulation here in the knee. As you can see, you can do that. No foot articulation at all, but still not too shabby at all. I love the paint on these guys, especially Air Raid. This guy, Air Raid, I have to admit, he's one of my favorites of the aerial bots. I don't know if I want to grade him in Skydive. I know in my previous videos I said Skydive was my favorite, but Air Raid's right there by him. He's probably actually my second of the aerial bots, just because of the way his paint and everything is on him. As you can see, there's his back view. We swivel him around, and there he is. We can peg his hand, or excuse me, his gun to his hand there. And he's got a great double barrel blaster to blast away at the Decepticons or whoever wants to take him on. You can bring this in as a weapon if you wish. You can actually peg it in right here. It's tight, but you can do it. I've actually found if you can do this, it makes it a little bit different. Give him this little bit of a blaster or a rocket launcher, or whatever you want to call it for that one. You can peg it into his hand. I don't really like them too much like that, but it gives you that extra weapon for him as well. It doesn't really weigh him down because you can, with the articulation, you can actually work with it. But there he is, guys. This is my look at Combiner Wars Air Raid from Wave 2. Do I suggest you pick them up? I highly do. You can actually pick them up in many places. One place I definitely recommend you checking them out at is Prime Toys, where if you're like me and you're a fan of transmissions, they have a transmissions code where if you go in, you spend X amount of dollars, you can get free shipping. I can't remember off the top of my head right now what that code is. I think it's like Transmissions July, where you get a free shipping or something like that, discounted free shipping on your purchases. So definitely check out Prime Toys. They're definitely worth the buy. You can actually go on there and you can get all these guys, including something like the Fensor. You can pick up a lot of third-party figures there as well. But again, guys, this is going to be it for this video. I thank you for watching. And as always, guys, please like, comment, and share this video. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe. Also, last couple of things. I'm going to try something new with my videos for the week. I have an Instagram account. I'm going to post a link below to it. So if you want to check it out and follow me on there, I will, on Sundays, I'm going to start posting a picture up of what reviews I'm going to be doing that week. I'll have a picture of what figures or what comics or whatever I'm doing that week, and it'd be great for you to check it out so that we can see what's upcoming for that week. As you can see, this week I'm going to be doing nothing but figures. Next week will be nothing but comics, and so on. So look forward to checking that out. Also, follow me on Twitter. I'll post a link below to that. I also post a link to Prime Toys and also the Transmissions. So I highly suggest you check both those out, especially Transmissions. They're a great podcast. Definitely worth listening to. They talk everything you want to know about comics, toys, third-party toys, whatever. It's in there. They're a great group of guys. Definitely worth listening to. But lastly, guys, it's Don about saying thanks for watching, and I hope to hear from you soon.